Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our geography lesson 2 Inside our Earth. In this lesson, you are going to learn what are there in the inside of Earth. Have you ever think what is there inside our Earth? We all think that inside the Earth is fully filled with soil and rocks. But it is not like that. Then how it would be? The earth can be divided into three layers. The uppermost layer is crust, beneath crust, mantle layer, and the innermost layer is core. The core layer also divided into inner core and outer core. Like this, earth has three layers. The next question arises, by which the three layers are made up of? We will see about the earth, each layer one by one. The uppermost layer crust is the surface of the earth. It is the thinnest of all the layers. This crust can be divided into continental mass and the ocean floor. The depth of the continental mass is 35 km and ocean floor is 5 km. The continental mass contains the minerals silica and alumina. So it is thus called Sial. So the mineral in continental mass is called as Sial. Okay, children. Next one, the ocean floor contains the mineral silica and magnesium. Therefore, the mineral in the ocean floor is called as Sima. So, this is what the crust layer is, children. Okay. The next layer is mantle. The depth of the mantle layer is 2900 km below the crust. It is deeper than crust layer, no children. What is there in this mantle layer? Mantle layer consists of molten magma. What is molten magma? Molten means liquid. The liquefied rock located deep below the earth's surface is called magma. Magma is formed when temperatures within Earth's crust or mantle are very hot and when pressure is placed within those layers decreases. When a volcano erupts or a deep crack occurs in the earth, the magma rises and overflows. When it flows out of the volcano or crack, usually mixed with steam and gas, it is called lava. Fresh lava ranges from 700 degree to 1200 degrees Celsius in temperature and glows red hot to white hot as it flows. The innermost layer is the core with a radius of about 3500 km. The inner core is composed of nickel and ferrous. Ferrous means iron. So, the mineral in the core is called as knife. The temperature at the inner core surface is estimated to be approximately 5430 degrees Celsius, which is about the temperature at the surface of the sun. Now, it is clear about three layers of the earth, children. Yes. The next heading we are going to see is rocks and minerals. Children, do you know how rocks are formed? Earth crust is made up of different types of rocks. That is, you can see so many mountains, hills are there on the earth's surface. No. So what is actually a rock? Rock is the mineral matter which makes the earth crust. A rock is an aggregate of one or more minerals or a body of undifferentiated mineral matter. What do you mean by undifferentiated mineral matter? It cannot be separated. Okay, that is the meaning of undifferentiated mineral matter. So there are three types of rocks. What are they? Igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rock are also called as primary rocks. There are two types of igneous rock. They are intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. How these rocks are formed? Igneous rock is formed when magma cools and solidifies. It may do this above or below the Earth's surface. Magma can be forced into rocks, blown out in volcanic explosions, or forced to the surface as lava. The atoms and molecules of melted minerals are what make up magma. These atoms and molecules rearrange themselves into mineral grains as the magma cools, forming rock. As the mineral grains grow together, there are over 700 different types of igneous rocks. Example of igneous rock include basalt, granite, pumice, obsidian, tuff. These are the examples of igneous rock. Pumice is an unusual lightweight rock formed when molten rock is rapidly blown out of a volcano, forming bubbles as it quickly loses pressure and cools at the same time. Obsidian is a volcanic glass that forms quickly without crystal growth. It can have very sharp edges, making it useful as a cutting tool or arrowhead. Tuff is a rock formed from volcanic ash. The upper section of the earth crust is made up of around 95% of igneous rock only. So, on the surface of the earth, which type of rock we can find more? This igneous rock only. The next type of rock is sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks are formed by sediments, that is, deposited over time, usually as layers at the bottom of the lakes and oceans. These sediments can include minerals, small pieces of plants, and other organic matters. The sediment is compressed over a long period of time before consolidating into solid layer of rock. Sedimentary rocks forms layer called strata, which can often be seen in the exposed cliffs. The sedimentary rocks over the majority of the Earth's rocky surface, but only make up a small percentage of the Earth crust compared to metamorphic and igneous type of rocks. Example of sedimentary rocks include limestone, sandstone, mudstone, grey-wacke, chalk, coal, claystone and flint. So these are the examples for sedimentary rock. Limestone forms the metamorphic rock marble when subjected to extreme heat and pressure over time. And sandstone forms the metamorphic rock quartzite. And mudstone forms the metamorphic rock slate. Chalk is a soft white form of limestone. Flint is a hard sedimentary form of the mineral quartz. Next, we are going to see what is metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rocks have been changed over time by extreme pressure and heat. Metamorphic rocks can be formed by pressure deep under the Earth's surface from the extreme heat caused by magma or by the intense collision and friction of tectonic plates. Uplift and erosion help bring metamorphic rock to the Earth's surface. Example of metamorphic rocks include anthracite, quartzite, marble, slate, granulite, etc. Anthracite is a type of coal with a high carbon count, few impurities, and with a high luster. The luster meaning is it looks shiny. Okay, that is the meaning of luster. Marble is a metamorphic rock that is formed from the sedimentary rock mudstone. And granulite is a metamorphic rock that is formed from the igneous rock basalt. We will stop the lesson here and continue the lesson in next video session. Okay, children? Children, civics first lesson are you learning? Easy way to learn the lesson is for each heading write points as I gave for history lesson 1 and geography lesson 1. No, like that. Okay. Write the side heading wise points in your classwork note. While learning the lesson, it will be easy for you to understand and read the geography lesson 2 also, children. Next, this is the time for interesting fact. Okay. In this second lesson geography, you have learned that due to the collision of tectonic plates, the magma comes to the surface of the earth and forms rocks. No, do you know due to the collision of two tectonic plates, one huge mountain is formed. Do you know which mountain is that? Yes, it is the Great Himalayas. Now we are going to see how Himalayas formed. The Himalayas are on the continent of Asia, south of the Tibetan Plateau and extending from west to east through the countries of Pakistan, China, India, Nepal and Bhutan. The Himalayas developed in the collision of two tectonic plates called the Eurasian and Indo-Austrian plates. The interaction of two plates about 20 million years ago pushed India and Tibet together, forming the Himalayas when they collided. 225 million years ago, India was a large island situated off Australian coast and separated from Asia by the Tethys Ocean. The supercontinent Pangaea began to break up 200 million years ago and India started a northward drift towards Asia. 80 million years ago, India was 6,400 kilometers south of the Asian continent but moving towards at a rate of between 6 and 16 centimeter per year. At the time, Tethys ocean floor would have been subducted northwards beneath Asia. From about 50 to 40 million years ago, the rate of northward drift of the Indian continental plate slowed to around 4 to 6 centimeter per year. The slowdown is interpreted to mark the beginning of the collision between the Eurasian and Indian continental plates, the closing of the former Tethys Ocean, and the initiation of Himalayan uplift. The Indian plate travelled northwards and collided with the Eurasian plate. This collision led the formation of Himalayas. The Indian plate is still moving north at 6 to 7 millimeter per year. Over the next 10 million years, it will travel about 1500 km into Asia. This leads to the Himalayas rising by about 5 mm per year, making them geologically active. The movement of the Indian plate into the Asian plate also lead to earthquake from time to time. Now watch the video of continental drift and how Himalayas formed. Now you are seeing the continental drift. The supercontinent Pangaea broken and the Indian plate started moving northwards and collided with Eurasian plate. Due to the collision of two tectonic plates, as you studied before, the magma comes out to the surface of the earth. Due to high pressure, the magma rises up and rapidly cooled down and formed the 8,848 meter tall Himalayan mountains. Himalayas are one of the youngest mountain ranges on the planet. The mystic beauty of the Indian Himalayas that has attracted people from across the globe. This is how the Himalayas formed, children.